Corey here. Welcome back. This is the intro on how to play chords. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you basically the proper hand form, what to do with your fingers, and get you guys through this gray area of really wanting to practice but not knowing how to. So here's some pointers for you. I'm going to demonstrate on an E major chord, which sounds like this. Now the first thing you want to do is the grip. The grip is really important. So there's two ways you can grip the neck. You can either grip it with the pad of your thumb against your fingertips on the other side with the guitar sandwiched, or you can do it against this part of your hand here, the large, I don't know what that muscle is, but the large part of your thumb palm muscle. And the idea is that you're coming together in sort of a loose fist around the shape. Now initially you're probably going to want to do this with your thumb. You're going to want to do the pad of your thumb to the tips of your fingers, and the reason for that is that your fingers are they're not quite flexible enough yet, unless you've had some previous training on another instrument that requires a lot of finger work. So by doing it this way, by doing it with the pad of the thumb against the back of the neck, just somewhere comfortable, allow your wrist to sort of fall underneath, and it's going to fall with whatever's comfortable. The guitar neck should be, a little bit tilted upwards, if at all possible. I know we all have this tendency to kind of lean down to see how we're doing, and that's great, as long as your neck doesn't start to nosedive this way, because if it does, your wrist is going to start to curl underneath, and what that's going to do is your fingers are going to start to follow and end up actually deadening the strings, and you won't even be able to get your shape. So what you're going to want to do is try to sit up straight and just look a little bit over if you need to. So pad of the thumb is on the back of the neck. Your fingertips come around, and the idea is, and I'll go over the shape in a second, but the idea is to play right on the fingertips themselves. So you're trying to basically press down a string at a certain point and do it as streamlined as possible on the fingertip. Not on the pads of the finger, directly on the fingertip. So that's the idea. Now let's go to step 2. Alright, so here's our E chord close up, is that we have an open first string, open second string, and we are building it up, first finger as the first fret of the third string. Then your third finger comes over, second fret of the fourth string should be getting that note. Middle finger comes over, second fret of the fifth string should be getting that note. And then a low string on the bottom that's open. So it's from the bottom to the top, open, second fret, first fret, open, open. Now what you want to look out for is make sure that you're fretting these properly, that all your fingers are as close up against the fret as you can get. You don't want to start back there because it's going to give you a dead string or kind of a buzzy string because the connection isn't secure at the fret. You want to take and always play as close to the fret as you can and as much on the fingertip as you comfortably can. Notice that the middle finger can't get as close to the fret as the third finger, because the third finger is right against the fret, and well, you can't really do much about it. So that's still okay as long as you're squeezing hard enough to get that note sounding good. The next thing you want to look for is to make sure that it doesn't sound something like where the open strings ring good, but the stuff in the center that you're holding doesn't ring clearly, and that could be because either your hand is still trying to get the strength to play it correctly, or perhaps the angle of your fingers are actually a little too flat. What's very common with the E chord is this will happen, is that you'll be playing that note correctly, but the third finger might be leaning over, and actually the underside of the third finger is kind of leaning on top of the string below it, and you're muting the note that your first finger is trying to play. So if that's the case, you want to make sure to keep your fingers a little more curled up on their fingertips. If you're getting that, just kind of try twisting the wrist downward a little bit. That helps the fingers curl forward, up and out of the way a little bit. And that's how you play your E major chord.